Hey everyone, Eric here from Voltage Park. Today I'm going to be showing you how to use OIDC with your Voltage Park Managed Kubernetes cluster. OpenID Connect is an identity layer on top of OAuth 2.0 that lets applications verify the identity of end users based on an auth server. It passes that proof as cryptographically signed JSON web tokens so no passwords are ever shared. Using OIDC with Kubernetes gives you single sign-on and MFA out of the box, aligns cluster logins with your organization's identity policies, and eliminates long-lived kubeconfig certificates. In short, it makes your cluster easier to manage and dramatically more secure. With that background, let's review the prerequisites for today's demo. First, you'll need an active Voltage Park account. Next, you'll need an OIDC-compliant identity provider. We'll use Google today, but other compliant providers like Keycloak work as well. Finally, you'll need kubectl and the kube login add-on installed on your cluster. In this demo, we'll start by registering a client with Google. Then, we'll create a Kubernetes cluster with Voltage Park, supplying an auth config with details about our new provider. Next, we'll create a role binding for our identity. Finally, we will test that the authentication and permissions work as expected. We'll start by heading over to Google to create an OAuth app. Give the app a name and use your email address for the support email. We'll use an internal audience for this demo. After creating the app, you'll also need to create a client. For this demo, use the desktop app option. You can copy the client secret and client ID, or you can download the JSON to reference later. Next, head to the Voltage Park dashboard. We will need to deploy a GPU with the Managed Kubernetes add-on. You'll need the information from your Google Auth application, as we will be supplying this to the cluster as an authentication configuration input. This input simply tells the cluster where to look when authenticating requests. We'll start the deployment and wait for it to complete. I'll pause recording until the cluster is ready. Great, the deployment is complete. Let's download the kubeconfig and switch to our IDE to configure RBAC on the cluster. For this demo, we'll use the predefined view cluster role, which grants read-only access to all namespaces. Using the supplied administrator kubeconfig, we will bind our identity to this role. Next, we'll create a new kubeconfig for this identity. Instead of containing static certificates like the admin kubeconfig, this kubeconfig has instructions for logging in with our Google identity. Let's test it out by listing the pods in the default namespace. You can see I'm redirected to my browser and prompted to log in. After logging in, the kubectl command completes, showing that the default namespace currently contains no pods. For fun, let's check in a different namespace as well. Now, we see a number of pods in the kube system namespace. Finally, let's check that this user really only has view permissions. I'll try to delete one of the pods in the kube system namespace. As you can see, I am forbidden from performing this action. OIDC is an important tool for securing and managing access to Kubernetes clusters at scale. If you would like to try this demo yourself, I will supply code references and links to the tools used in the description below. If this video has been helpful to you, please like and subscribe